morning, everyone, and welcome. Thank you all for being here, braving the rain, and I'm sure we'll turn into very humid weather later on. So my name is John Wright. I'm the Community Relations Director for Hardin County Schools, and on behalf of the students, the faculty, and staff of this great district, I'd like to welcome you to our 2018 Distinguished Alumni Luncheon. We also welcome you to the Hardin County Schools Early College and Career Center. EC3, just a little bit about it, it's a collaborative partnership between Hardin County Schools, Western Kentucky University, the Central Kentucky Community Foundation, Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, and several other post-secondary institutions. It's been called the most dynamic educational partnership ever forged in the Commonwealth. The center fulfills several roles. High school students in the Hardin County Schools are using the center to take courses in health science, engineering, automotive technology, welding, information technology, culinary arts, and air and space. They also use it as a conduit to ECTC to take college courses that will earn them high school and college credit. There will be students that leave Hardin County Schools with their associate's degree in the Academy at EC3 program. Last year, 48 students were on that path, and this year there are many, many more, almost double that are on their way to earning their high school diploma and their associate's degree. If you'd like to stick around after the luncheon, we can certainly take you on a tour and show you how the classroom has certainly changed since some of you have left it. I know Mr. Hosclaw and Ms. Johnston, you're not too far removed from those classrooms, but the rest of you, if you'd like a tour, you can certainly do that. I'd like to welcome some special people here today, a couple members of our Board of Education, Mr. Charlie Wise and Mr. Ben Seago. Thank you all for being here and for sharing your day with us. I'd also like to welcome our superintendent, who you'll hear from later, and our chief support officer, Mr. Chris Bauer, are here as well from our district. So again, thank you all for being here, and we just appreciate the gift of what you have given not only to the world, really, but to this district. You have carried our district banner high and proud, and we are most appreciative of that. So it says at the bottom of my page here, let's eat. So let's please feel free to do that. It's right behind, the food is right behind the wall there, so you'll enjoy that meal. Our Hardin County Schools Child Nutrition Team does a great job of this every year. It's one of my favorite meals to eat the whole year round, and that includes Christmas and Easter, so and Thanksgiving. But please feel free to go ahead and eat. Thank you all for being here. If everyone's ready to get started, I think we'll go ahead and get started and get these honorees honored. There are only two of them here today. Mr. Russell Gross, who we'll learn more about here in just a second and see why he certainly deserves to get this honor. He emailed me on Sunday, and said that he had fallen at his church on Sunday. He plays and he leads the chorus at church. I mean, he's chief musician of the Navy band, so obviously he's big in his music at church. But anyway, he had fallen at church and shattered his shoulder. So remember, think about him. But obviously he couldn't make the drive from Virginia to be here. So we have two honorees that could be here today, and we're thankful that those two could be here, and certainly all five deserve this honor. But before we move further along, please help me thank Ms. Josie Crew and Ms. Martine Smallwood and their team, Child Nutrition. They did an amazing job. Yeah, get everybody around here to at least take a bow or so. Come on out. Oh, they're working. Okay, all right. But they heard your applause, so thank you again, Josie. You guys did amazing as always. So very, very good meal, and of course the apple crisp is my favorite, so I appreciate that. So, and also our EC3 culinary students, they helped in some behind-the-scenes work, and they did an amazing job for us as well. This meal is another reason why I really, really look forward to this event each year. They do an amazing job. I want our honorees to know how much we truly appreciate them for being here today. We're grateful that you, and not only you, but your family and friends could represent you and represent the district today. We'll meet all of our honorees shortly, but let's just take a minute and give our honorees a round of applause for their dedication to the school. To go as far in life, they've had to have been dedicated, and that dedication started, I can promise you, at an early age. It started in Hardin County Schools when they were here, and they've all achieved a great deal. Terry Morgan is starting her third school year as the superintendent of Hardin County Schools. She spent her entire career in this district. She started as a teacher at Vine Grove Elementary School and then transitioned to Woodland Elementary to teach and serve as assistant principal and then be principal at Woodland. Before becoming superintendent, she was the district's director of curriculum and instruction. And Ms. Morgan was named the superintendent at the end of March 2016 and began serving in her new role on July 1 of that year. She played basketball and earned her bachelor's degree at Brescia College. She earned her master's degree and superintendent certification from the University of Kentucky, Western Kentucky University. So please help me welcome the superintendent of Hardin County Schools, Ms. Terry Morgan.
What he didn't share with you is that I marked out that I graduated from University of Kentucky, and he was like, that was my joke. And I'm like, I don't get it. So, John does a great job getting this organized for us. I brought something with me. The first year I did this, I was too vain to wear glasses, and so John was kind enough to put it on a different script this year. So we're not quite there yet, but we might get there. So I do welcome you, but especially, and I'm sure with the honorees today, I am sure you share with me the appreciation of the families, because anytime you have someone who steps out into the world and makes a difference, it leaves someone being responsible and taking extra responsibility at home to keep things going. So thanks to the family and friends who are here today, who either inspired them to be what they are today or continues to support them so they can continue in their work and creating a path for others to follow. So thanks to all of you all today. I hope each honoree will come up and maybe introduce the folks that you brought with you today. So thank you for being here. I do want to thank our board members for being here today. We have sort of changed the makeup of our board to where we have some folks with young children in the school district, and their time during the day is very difficult to get out to these types of things, but I assure you they share in the appreciation with you all of the honorees today. So, excuse me, we first want to acknowledge Mr. Russell Gross is a 1978 graduate of North Hardin High School. His musical talents have given him multiple opportunities for success. He found success many times, including serving as the chief musician for the United States Navy Band. He earned a bachelor's degree in music education and music performance at Murray State University in 1982 and 83. He returned to North Hardin High School as an assistant director of bands from 1983 to 1986. He left North Hardin to join the United States Navy. After naval training in Great Lakes, Illinois, he reported to the Naval School of Music in Norfolk. I don't know if you're like me, this was something new to realize this was a pathway that you could do in the Navy. He was assigned to the Navy Band in Orlando, Florida for 2 years. After winning a special audition for the Navy's premier band, he began his service in the United States Navy Band in Washington, D.C. from 1989 until his retirement in 2010. He was an instrumental clarinetist and saxophone and piano, as well as enlisted conductor for the Navy's concert band. He earned the Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal, 3 Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medals, and the Meritorious Unit Commendations, 5 Good Conduct Medals, and the National Defense Service Medal. In 1986, he received the Sailor of the Year Award and was promoted to Chief Musician. He is a professional clarinetist as well as a conductor. He has been a principal clarinetist, I am saying that wrong and I apologize, John, as well as Tyson's McLean Orchestra for 29 seasons, and he plays in the Arlington Philharmonic. He is the founder, music director, and conductor of Windworks of Washington, a professional super band. composed of members of the Washington, D.C. military bands and area freelance musicians and special invited guests. Today he could not be here, as John shared with you. He fell and broke his shoulder over the weekend, but he does have someone standing in for him who was the nominee for him, and that is Miss Kathy Watt. So if she would please come forward. She is going to accept and speak on his behalf. Who knows, when you nominate someone, that you then get to have the opportunity to speak on their behalf. So congratulations.
Thank you. I have known Russell Gross for over 30 years, and I'm honored to be here to accept on his behalf. I nominated Russell for this award because he is truly distinguished in his field. The one thing that sets him apart is his passion. Someone once said that passion is the engine that drives excellence. It is what motivates us to continue pursuing our dreams when times get tough, when we get tired, or when others tell us we can't possibly succeed. And when passion and performance meet, we experience our greatest satisfaction and impact in life. People are most effective when they're doing what they love, and Russell's love for music encompasses every aspect of his life. Whether he is performing, teaching, conducting, or simply conversing with a friend, his passion shines through. The Urban Dictionary defines passion as ambition that is materialized into action to put as much heart, mind, body, and soul into something as is possible. And that is Russell Gross. He puts his heart, his mind, body, and soul into all he does. It is most suiting that he receive this award, as he has been an inspiration and a role model for many. He has represented Hardin County well, and this honor is a wonderful recognition of his accomplishments. And since he couldn't be here today, he has sent a few words that he would like me to share with you. Ladies and gentlemen, I am deeply touched and honored to be selected as a recipient of this prestigious award. Unfortunately, a nasty fall on Sunday morning left me unable to travel for a few weeks. I'm grateful to have Ms. Kay Watts accept this award on my behalf and represent me today. My thanks to Mr. Wright, the selection committee, and everyone involved in this event. I am most proud to be a product of the outstanding school system here in Hardin County. Briefly, I would like to recognize the many great teachers that helped shape my formative years, helping me set goals by providing the necessary tools, offering encouragement, and being exemplary role models. My music teachers were truly wonderful and offered a solid foundation to my musical studies. My band director at North Hardin Junior High, Mrs. Lucille Brown, was pretty tough, set high standards, and expected a great deal from me. I'm grateful to her for her early influence. My first band director at North Hardin High School was Mr. Edgar Abbott. He was a master teacher and emphasized having strong basic musical skills as the basis of my performance. And I thank him for the opportunities he gave me and the encouragement he so freely provided. My band director from my sophomore through senior years was Michael Sims. Not only was he a master teacher, but an amazing musician and a role model for me. During his first year at North Hardin High School, Mr. Sims encouraged the band students to audition for the Kentucky High School All-State Band. And as I understand it, 1975 was the first year North Hardin High School students had ever auditioned for All-State. And I was fortunate enough to be selected for the All-State Band that year. I was the first representative from North Hardin High School to ever make the Kentucky All-State Band, and it was an experience and a memory that has stayed with me throughout my life. My academic teachers were also superior and encouraged me along with my music directors. I'm grateful for the excellent education that I received at North Hardin and know that because of it, I was well prepared for college and for life. My advice to the current students in the outstanding Hardin County schools would be simple. Work hard, study hard, listen to your teachers, and keep your minds and hearts open to the opportunities around you. Never give up on your dreams. Find ways to live the life you envision. Always lift up and encourage others. Always be quick to forgive. Be honest and kind. I have found inspiration in the Maya Angelou advice. Whatever you want to do, if you want to be great at it, you have to love it and be able to make sacrifices for it. My sincere thanks for this award. I'm grateful and humbled. All the best to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. What wonderful words he had for us to keep in mind. Our next award is going to Mr. Brent Halsclaw, a 1976 graduate of East Hardin High School. He recently retired as superintendent of Bardstown Independent School. I went to Nelson County. We're not going to hold it against him for working for the other side there. And began a new career as Chief Financial and Facilities Officer at Elizabethtown Community and Technical College. He earned his bachelor's degree in business education from Berea College and his master's degree in rank 1 from Western Kentucky University. After college, he returned to Hardin County and taught business at North Hardin High School. He also coached football and tennis there. He went to Bardstown High School in 1990 to serve as the school's guidance counselor. In 1996, Halsclaw left Bardstown to serve as principal at LaRue County Middle School and returned to principal at my old Kentucky home middle school, which is in Nelson County, in 1997. In the year 2000, Halsclaw was chosen to be the first principal of John Hardin High School. He was faced with the unique task of hiring all staff members and determining the school's direction of success. After creating a strong tradition of excellence at John Hardin, he was selected to be the Bardstown Independent Superintendent in 2005. He negotiated the purchase of 71 acres for the district's future growth, began a STEAM, which is Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Math Academy on the district's campus, created an on-campus health clinic for students, expanded the district's child care program, and led the district through advanced ed accreditation, and led the district to a distinguished rating from the Kentucky Department of Education. Halsclaw is a board member of the Guthrie Opportunity Center, an organization working to improve the quality of life for adults with disabilities. He is active in his church and serves with Habitat for Humanity. He is past president of the Central Kentucky Educational Cooperative, a member of the Kentucky School Board Association, Kentucky Association of School Administrators, and Kentucky Association of School Superintendents. We are very proud to present Mr. Brent Halsclaw.
Very nice plaque. Thank you so much. Kay, you did such a wonderful job for Mr. Gross. I wouldn't mind yielding the podium to you. It's outstanding for a fill-in there on a short notice. So great work. I want to say, first of all, it is a great honor and a privilege to be recognized for this award and to be included in such an outstanding group of honorees. I congratulate each of them and again, am very honored to be in their company today. Let me start by saying a thank you to Superintendent Terry Morgan, also Board Chair, Mr. Charlie Wise, the Hardin County Board of Education, and the entire administrative, faculty, and staff of Hardin County Schools. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. John Wright, I appreciate your involvement in this process. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful working with you. You know, you're only as good as the people that surround you. So if you'll give me a few moments, I want to give a few shout outs to some folks that have surrounded me in my career at this time that are actually here today. So let me begin with my lovely wife, Miss Sandy Halsclaw, who has always been with me through thick and thin and everything that I've done. Sitting beside her is Miss Sheila Music, my longtime assistant, and she is also working with me now at the community college. So appreciate her being here today. Who brings her big sister to an awards banquet here? Huh? my sister Peggy and her husband Russell. I appreciate them being here. Also, we have with us today a group of folks that have supported me for over a decade. My Bardstown City School family is here today, and I appreciate them being here as well. So I am a Hardin County native. I've grew up in this community, went to school at Sonora Elementary School, went to East Hardin High School. Now, if you think about that for a minute, neither of those schools exist anymore. You think I might have had something to do with that? I don't know. I'm not sure, but they certainly were wonderful places for me. So for those of you who know me well, this is not something that I relish. This is not the kind of thing that I make a priority for me, awards and things like that. But I'm going to confess to this group that I am overjoyed. I'm excited, and I cherish this award. Hardin County Schools have been very influential in my life. For any success that I've enjoyed in my career, I really owe a lot to the school district, both as a student and as an educator. I think back to the time that I was in high school and I was a student. I think about all the fond memories that I had with all of those teachers, the kind and caring teachers at East Hardin High School. Now, I don't know exactly how to say this. Let me say, I was a good student, but I wasn't a great student. To be totally honest, I don't really remember a lot of subject matter that many years ago that was taught to me. But I do remember how much those teachers at East Hardin cared for me, how much they motivated me to be a better student, and how they believed in me. There's a saying that we have in education: students don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. As a young man searching for my path in life, I remember well how much the teachers at East Hardin High School cared for me. I thought about trying to list them and go through. The list is just too long. I would have clearly left someone out, but there's so many fond memories. You know, it's my belief that every person is born with a God-given gift. And as young people in our formative years, we don't always know what that gift is. We're searching for answers. We're searching for our place in life, but we don't know what that gift is. We sometimes need people in our lives to believe in us and help us find that gift. So I look back over my 34 years of career in education. Another way to say that is 3.4 decades. That's not near as long as 34 years. It becomes clear to me, though, that one of the most important tools in the education field has not changed after all these years. All the way back to the time that I was in school, it still exists. The most important factor to ensure a student's success in education, it's still about building relationships with students, believing in students, and helping our students discover the gift within. As you know, it was mentioned earlier, I began my teaching career at North Hardin High School. I remember interviewing for my first education job as a new teacher. I sit in Mr. Ray Story's office. Of course, I was nervous as could be. And for those of us that remember Mr. Story, and you understand his personality, it was easy to understand why it was such a difficult interview. But of course, he was a man that once you did get to know him, you found out he had a heart that was huge, and he was all about educating children and loving children and making sure they were taken care of. And fortunately, he became my first mentor in the field of education, and I truly respect it and appreciate it. He taught me how to always put students first in every decision that we make. 10 years after leaving North Hardin, I was presented the wonderful opportunity to return to Hardin County and to open a new school, John Hardin High School. It's clearly one of the highlights in my career. It's an experience that I'll never forget, and an experience that prepared me well to become superintendent of Bardstown City Schools. Thinking back on this experience, on the experience of John Hardin, I remember the interview process. Now, if you've sat through an interview with a couple of people or multiple people, it's pretty tough. I walked into this interview and there were 12 people sitting around that table, and they all had questions because they were very passionate people. Somehow made it through that interview. Somehow I was selected, made final three. I was able to go and sit in front of Mrs. Lois Gray, superintendent at Hardin County Schools. Mrs. Gray was a very special person, and in my interview, she asked several non-traditional questions that were very provoking, questions that were somewhat emotional. I'm a person that prepares hard for interviews. I didn't see these questions coming. I had no idea, and I wasn't prepared for the answers. But I did the best I could to get through it. And somehow, in the end, she was willing to take a chance on me. She saw things that in me that I hadn't seen in myself. She put me in a place that I didn't really feel like I was ready for. But she believed in me. This might be hard, so hang in there. She mentored me. She nurtured me. She once again helped me find that gift in life. Hardin County Schools, you played a significant role in my career, in my life, and I'm so grateful. And I'm so appreciative to receive this award of Hardin County Distinguished Alumni. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brent. I too had that opportunity to interview with Miss Gray, and she came to my classroom to ask me questions, and I was not prepared for what her questions were, and I look back on it, and I'll tell you a bigger thing that happened to me. She interviewed me, and I accepted the position, and then midway before I ever started my job, she resigned. So there's nothing like being hired by one superintendent and then in the future be evaluated by a different superintendent. Those of you who are familiar with Hardin County Schools know it was a huge transition from one to the next. So, all right. Next we have Dr. Brooke Hicks Hedspeth. I did not realize she was Miss Thomas's daughter until today, so thank you. She is an alum of Central Hardin High School. She is also summa cum laude, a graduate from the University of Kentucky College of Pharmacy, and has placed a strong focus on diabetes care and prevention during her career. She recently secured a $7.5 million grant from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to expand the National Diabetes Prevention Program to underserved areas across the United States. She's had numerous peer-reviewed publications and national speaking engagements in the area of diabetes and pharmacy practice opportunities. She is a pharmacy practice coordinator and clinical diabetes care pharmacist for Kroger Pharmacy and serves as the program coordinator for the Kroger's Diabetes Self-Management, Education, and Diabetes Prevention. It is recognized as one of the best programs in the country by the American Diabetes Association and the CDC. Dr. Hudspeth is also an adjunct assistant professor at UK College of Pharmacy and a professor for the UK College of Pharmacy Kroger Community Pharmacy Residency Program. She has been recognized with national and state awards for her contributions to her profession and innovation in providing patient care. Some of these include the American Pharmacist Association's One-to-One Patient Counseling Award, Kentucky's Young Pharmacist of the Year, and the National Alliance of State Pharmacy Associations Excellence in Innovation Award. Dr. Hudspeth has had numerous peer-reviewed publications and national speaking engagements in the areas of diabetes and pharmacy practice opportunities. She is secretary for the Kentucky Pharmacist Association, a member of the board of directors for Kentucky Diabetes Network, and a member of the board of directors for the American Diabetes Association, and is part of the National Diabetes Prevention Pharmacy Stakeholder Group. She frequently volunteers with the state's mobile pharmacy events where medication is provided to help combat Kentucky's opioid epidemic. Additionally, she volunteers at the diabetes fundraising events and recently earned the American Diabetes Association prestigious Volunteer of the Year. And when she is finished with this program today, she's going to go and speak to our students who are in the pharmaceutical path here at EC3, and we appreciate that. So please help me welcome and acknowledge Dr. Hudspeth.
So I would also like to start out by recognizing and congratulating all of the other recipients today as well. So just hearing about what everyone is doing, these other awardees, and seeing all of the phenomenal things that they have gone out and done as have been mentioned and written today, it just really makes this an even greater honor. And so I'm just really inspired by what these other awardees have been able to accomplish. So it is a true honor to be recognized as a distinguished alumni from Hardin County Schools. I am truly humbled, and I think as was mentioned earlier, this is an award that is truly overwhelming and very humbling to receive. I can say without a doubt that the education that I was given and the opportunities that I was afforded through Hardin County Schools definitely laid the foundation for the success that I'm being recognized, that you guys have recognized me for today. So I would like to thank, I have a lot of people to thank, but I want to first thank John, Superintendent, for and the selection committee for this honor. The support and encouragement that I've received from coaches, from teachers, from family, again, too many to name, and I'm sure I would also probably leave someone out, is something that I will forever be grateful for. The values, work ethic, the compassion for others, and faith in God that was really instilled in me throughout these years are attributes that I strive to incorporate in everything that I do. I feel that when you're doing something that you're passionate about and that you love, it doesn't really seem like you're doing anything all that special or all that great. And so this really came full circle about a year and a half ago. So as was mentioned, a big part of what I do in my career focuses on diabetes management. And I could stand up here and talk about diabetes all day long and why it's so near and dear to me. I'm sure every single person in this room in some way, shape, or form has been impacted by diabetes or knows someone that has been. But more recently, I've kind of shifted some of that focus into prediabetes. And prediabetes is a condition, for those of you all who aren't familiar with it, that impacts 86 million Americans, and patients that have prediabetes are at a very high risk for going on to develop diabetes. And the good news, though, is that there is a lot of evidence. There's a very strong program that shows patients can actually prevent diabetes. And so that's what my most recent work has been in developing and implementing this program that has been proven to help a great number of patients prevent this chronic disease of diabetes. And so I had the opportunity, as was mentioned, through some connections with the CDC to implement this program across the country in underserved areas. And of all of the underserved areas, all of the counties across the country, wouldn't you know that Hardin County, Kentucky was identified as one of those underserved areas, and it was an area where we chose to bring this program back and implement it right here in Hardin County. And so while I have been in Lexington, Kentucky since going to college at the University of Kentucky, right, and stayed up there, this just presented a wonderful opportunity to be able to hopefully impact the community here in Hardin County and maybe give just a little bit back to so much that Hardin County has given to me. Like was mentioned, and what I said earlier, really what, has laid the foundation so much of the success really comes from those experiences, everything that Hardin County schools have had to offer, as well as that support that we've had. So as you had mentioned earlier too, you couldn't do a lot of these things without the support of family. So especially my husband, O'Shea, who even with his successful career takes the time to care for our family so that I'm able to do a lot of the things that I do. Also with me today, I've got my mom, Leanne Thomas, who's always been a huge supporter, my dad, Alan Hicks, and my aunt, Valerie Hicks, and then my grandparents who've been basically like parents to me as well, second parents, so Jimmy and Joel Workman. So my grandmother even came after just having her knee replaced, just got the staples out. So that's dedication right there. So just again, want to thank everybody in this room for all of your support and encouragement and the ability to be here today and do what I do. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, we want to recognize Kyle Johnston, who graduated from North Hardin High School in 2000. He is the head athletic trainer for National Football League Miami Dolphins. Let Kyle know we waited to acknowledge him until he left a certain university, and now that he has left there, we'll recognize him. He graduated from the University of Kentucky in 2004 with his undergraduate degree, and University of Florida in 2007 with his master's degree. Prior to his senior year at UK, he was selected by the Miami Dolphins to serve as a summer intern. A year later, he landed a year-long internship with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He later accepted a graduate assistant position at the University of Florida football program. During his first season with the Gators, the assistant trainer position opened, and he was quickly promoted while still working on postgraduate degree. After 5 years at Florida, he came home to serve as the director of football sports medicine for the University of Louisville football team. His appointment to that position at age 27 made him the youngest head athletic trainer at a Power 5 institution at that time. During his time in college football, he worked with 2 national championship teams, 2 bowl championships, and 2 Heisman Trophy winners. The Miami Dolphins asked Kyle Johnston to serve as the team's head athletic trainer in January of this year. At age 35, he became one of the youngest head athletic trainers for the NFL. Throughout his career, he has stayed connected to Hardin County schools and the North Hardin High School family. He has counseled and mentored countless students across the district considering entrance into the profession of athletic training. He has given a multitude of athletic facility tours to HCS students, to visits to U of L. He has come back to HCS to talk to us about careers multiple times with our students. His guidance was instrumental in the proactive and aggressive approach for Hardin County schools to implement the Impact Concussion Management Program and return to play policy for student athletes. Kyle could not be here with us this afternoon. However, he did send a video for us to see. And Ms. Johnston she's going to let Kenneth come up and accept this today, but she got to visit some locker rooms and some Heisman Trophy recipient in Florida a long time ago, and we enjoyed that video that she shared with us. So we'll let Kyle take over.
First off, I want to apologize about not making it back there today. My line of work, this time of the year, is very difficult to take a day off, much less an hour. I love my profession. Unfortunately, the opportunities that I've had to take have moved me away from home. But a lot of times I'll check on the district website or News Enterprise Online to keep in touch with what's going on in the community. And every year I'll see this list of distinguished alumni from Hardin County Schools. And I look at the group that's being recognized today and the impact and influence they've had on education, music, business, engineering, pharmacy. And I'm blown away at the amount of talent that's walked the hallways of this school system. The group today and also the ones that have come before us. It's very humbling to be mentioned in the same breath as this group of people. It's a huge honor for me. One of the coolest honors I think I've ever received because of how special this school system is to my family and I. I'd like to thank a lot of individuals, but inevitably you probably forget somebody, and it wouldn't be fair to them. So, just in general, you never forget the teachers that stayed late and came early to help you on an assignment that you had some trouble with, or the counselors in the counseling office, and that staff that were a shoulder to lean on or an ear to listen to with things that maybe you didn't want to bring back home to your parents and talk to. The blueprint for leadership that the principals and administrators laid out in front of us. The coaches that push you beyond your comfort zone, that challenge you to set your goals high, challenge you to make yourself better so you can in turn make your team better and work in that team concept. The lunch ladies and the janitors that always had a smile on their face, maybe let you borrow a quarter because you were short for lunch. Those things were such an influence in my life then and continue to be an influence on my life now. But I'd be remiss to not mention the two greatest educators anybody could ever ask for, my mom and dad, Kenneth and Annette Johnston, as well as my second mother and father, my aunt and uncle, Patty and Chris Mayu. No coincidence that they're all Hardin County School products as well. They've paid it forward to my sister and I. They taught us the morals and values, principles that we needed to know and learn to be successful in life, like work ethic, determination, perseverance, loyalty, how to treat others. And my sister and I, when we went to Vine Grove Elementary, James T. Alton, and North Hardin High School, we were reinforced these same values. So not only we heard it at home, but we heard it at school as well. And it gave us a chance. It laid a foundation for us to lean back on, to build off of, to give us a chance in life to be successful. My wife and I are raising 3 beautiful daughters. Yeah, I do have all girls, so I have my hands full, and I know that. So my wife and I often, when we're looking at schools, as we've had to move around a few times, we're looking for our Hardin County schools. We're looking for that school system that's going to reinforce the same values and principles that we're teaching our children at home. We know that if we find our school system that was half as good to my sister and I, that our children will have a chance as well, and that's all we can ask for. Again, I thank everybody for everything they've always done for us. I thank Hardin County Schools. They truly are what they say they stand for, and that's helping children succeed. So again, thanks for everything, and go Trojans.
And accepting on his behalf is Kenneth Johnston.
Well, it's an honor to accept this on behalf of Kyle. I would like to introduce his family, even though he did mention him in the video. We have Nanetta's mother, who's a graduate of North Hardin High School and a retired Hardin County School employee. His sister Ashton, a graduate of North Hardin High School. His Aunt Patty, which is a graduate of North Hardin High School and a retired Hardin County School employee. And I'm also a graduate of North Hardin High School. So Hardin County Schools is our family. And we've been very fortunate to receive the foundation that we have from the school system to be successful in our professional careers and our personal lives. So we're very thankful for everything. I would like to mention that Ashton did have a part in his growing up because he would look at her and say, what she did wrong, I don't want to do, because she was always getting in trouble. So that kept him from getting in trouble. So she did have a big part in his growing up and the way he is today. Thank you again very much.
Ashton. I'm the youngest of 8, and I too appreciated what they did to spare me. So. Next, we have John Kimberlane is a member of the last East Hardin High School graduating class of 1990. He is a senior application specialist at Dow Chemical. He earned his Bachelor of Science degree from the University of Kentucky in 1996. After spending 2 years with Gates Rubber Corporation in product and process development, he joined Dow Corning, which is now Dow Chemical. He is considered an expert in the design and performance of structural silicon glazing in the Americas, which is focus of his research. His research includes the use of finite elements analysis for advanced structural glazing silicon sealant design, sealant behavior in protective glazing applications for hurricane impact and bomb blast, and development of material models to incorporate into finite element analysis software for increased accuracy and predictive modeling. He was published nearly 20 peer reviews, journal articles on his research used by leading building designers across the globe. He has made more than 50 research presentations in 4 countries and earned the Application and Engineering Award of Excellence at Dow in 2010 and 2017. If you have the opportunity to go through a tour of Dow, you can see all the research that is done there and the impact that he is truly having on the American roads and buildings that we look to for structural safety and the role that Dow is playing in that. He is also a founding board member of the North American Contractor Certification and Architectural Glass and Metal Certification Council. He also served as chair in Building Enclosure Contractors Division and Board of Directors for the Glass Association of North America. He could not be here today, but he has sent Miss Kimberlin in his place, and we also want to welcome his mom here today. So come on up.
I'm glad she had that part to read. So I am his wife, Sandra Kimberlane. My mother-in-law, Carol Kimberlane, is also here today. Thank you, Ms. Morgan, and the committee for having us. I am reading his remarks, so keep that in mind. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to read in somebody else's voice, but these are his remarks that he prepared in advance for today. It is a great honor to be recognized as Distinguished Alumnus of the Hardin County School District. In addition to all the previous honorees, to be selected within this group of alumni who have accomplished so much and represented Hardin County schools in such a positive manner is very impressive and humbling. That seems to be the theme for today, very humbling. Congratulations to all the other recipients. Receiving this recognition was very much unexpected, and that's an understatement. If you have an engineer in your life, you probably know an introvert who can be lost in their head for hours and days, trying to understand how the world works and what can be done to make it better. At least in terms of chemistry and physics. That's me, he says. Now, this is a side note from me, his wife, not part of John's remarks. He didn't even know I'm saying this. So I've learned a lot too. Like when we're driving through a fast food restaurant in Florida and he says, "Stop, back up." And I'm like, "What? In a drive-through? Wait." Check, okay, I can do that. I'm backing up, he says, "Stop." And I'm like, "What? There's nothing there, it's a wall." He leans over and he takes a picture of 2 wall panels that are held together with sealant incorrectly. Or we're at the zoo and there's an angry lion or gorilla and he's like, "You know, the only thing that's keeping us from being eaten is the sealant that's holding that glass in place." And then I now know what a building envelope is, right? I mean, there's all these random things that you never thought you would know about, but being married to an engineer and who is also an introvert, you still learn a lot. And he is definitely someone who uses advanced math and science on a daily basis, so there are people in this world that use that. Okay, now back to John's comments. Currently, I am in Chicago at a conference called GlassCon Global. It is an assembly of leading influencers and researchers in the design and use of glass for architectural applications. Today, I am chairing a track of presentations on different glass designs. The 4 presenters are the guy that engineered that glass slide thing on the outside of the building in Los Angeles, a professor from the United States, a professor from Belgium, and a leading building consultant from Canada. Tomorrow, I get to present some recent research and glazing techniques for use in hurricane-prone regions. It is enjoyable that when part of what you do enables you to actually go and shoot 2x4s from a cannon at glass to understand how things work and to try to make them work better. It has been a pleasure and an honor to be consulted on parts of the facades of such projects as the Apple Campus, Cowboy Stadium, and Hudson Yard. Truly, I miss being at the luncheon. It would have been nice to share what this recognition means to me in person. Any success that I may have had, in part, is due to the education I received from this community and its educators. Beyond just the academics, the educational experience in Hardin County schools has provided extracurricular activities and enhanced learning options to help students succeed if they decide to engage it to the best of their ability. I want to highlight a few of my experiences in the school district, but realize there are too many to list them all and that there is a chance that we would miss somebody. I have fond memories of being a student at Rhineville Elementary with teachers like Ms. Lucas, Ms. Galvin, and Mr. Blakely, who were very kind and able educators. I remember that Ms. Yates recognized me in a skill set in mathematics and pushed to get me into more advanced classes to continue to develop. At Hardin Central Middle School, memories of Ms. Hayes and Ms. Ransdell, who helped teach an understanding of the English language, writing, and critical thinking. Fundamental skills for writing research papers, in which you heard he's written quite a few. Mr. Bennett and Mr. Allen, capable and fun algebra teachers who furthered my understanding of mathematics, a critical part of my development as an engineer. Finally, at East Hardin High School, Ms. Abraham provided a lot of tough love to many of us and the importance of understanding chemistry. Ms. Wells provided a fun and engaging physics course, and maybe perhaps because she had a homemade AC unit and not all the rooms were air conditioned back then. And Mr. Young, who taught business classes as well. He mentored me and many others through participation in Future Business Leaders of America. Beyond understanding business law, which is an important concept even in the field of chemistry and physics, participation in FBLA helps you understand how to present yourself and respect others. FBLA provided a wealth of diverse experiences when traveling and competing in different competitions or vying for elected offices in the organization. Education is a strong theme in my upbringing and current life. From my parents who were educators, including my mother, Carol, who taught for the Hardin County schools for several decades, to my wife who teaches online classes for JCTC while working as a counselor success coach at the University of Louisville, and my children who are students currently enrolled at GC Burkhead and East Hardin Middle School. As a product of and someone who entrusts their children to, I want to thank all of the current former educators and administrators in the Hardin County School District that commit themselves to creating an environment that goes beyond learning and to one that enables the development of a full person if he or she chooses to do so. The fact that the district has a program to recognize successful alumni speaks volumes of what you have accomplished over your long history. You are greatly appreciated, and thank you again for the recognition.
I can tell you that this is my third year having the opportunity to present these awards, and I agree with them. It is truly humbling to see the talents that have left the Hardin County school system, and more importantly, how they give back to the Hardin County school system, either through their words and most definitely their actions. We have truly had rocket scientists here last year. We've had a woman who was not allowed to sign her name because it was a man's world, as she said, and they wouldn't take her seriously if they realized that she was an engineer and a female, and so she would just initial things. So with the folks we are recognizing here today, it is truly an honor, and we are humbled by all that you have accomplished. We teach our students today to learn about the grade 8 work standards. Number 3 is academic performance. We teach them that work ethic they bring to the classroom today is a great indicator of how successful they will be in life. And as the people spoke today, I'm sure you heard that. I don't know how well each of our honorees performed in the classroom, but today celebrates how well you've taken your education foundation and built upon it with great success. Each school year we pick a new theme, and then we make a hashtag out of this, which I don't believe any of you were familiar with when you were in the school system. But our hashtag this year is HCS Stronger Together. When one looks at this group and listens to the thoughts you've shared today, it is easy to say that you have worked hard to get where you are today. However, you also have had a tremendous gift of building relationships with people who have attributed to your success. This group has gone above and beyond the call of duty in bettering the people around you, sacrificing their own interest and even lives to bring honor to the people around them. You have accomplished all that you have because of your motivation and persistence that is supported by family, friends, teachers, co-workers, and others who are dedicated to your success. You truly do embody the Stronger Together motto. This group consists of educators, musicians, doctors, counselors, problem solvers, pioneers, engineers, innovators, creators, organizers, and American heroes. It doesn't matter what job title this year's honorees have emerged and become distinguished alums because of their determination and drive. Through your success, you continue to touch the world. But what you may not realize is that you are stronger together by continuing to light the road for success for Hardin County students. We do have a video of this presentation today, and I do take the opportunity to share that with our students so that they realize someday they may be distinguished alumni, but also they can see the road that you all have paved for them. The fruits and contributions of this beautiful new building are already visible. Students that attended Hardin County Schools Early College and Career Center and their home high schools are poised to earn college credit hours in industry-level certifications because of the generosity of people like you. Please go to our Hardin County Schools website and click the Alumni tab on the right-hand side of the page. Please register your contact information with us and help us organize a broad and diverse alumni database. And we will share that. I believe it's on your page that you have there before you. It is www.hardin.kyschools.us/alumni. We ask that you go there and register because one of the things we would like to do is to send you a letter asking you to recognize other alumni who have graduated from Hardin County Schools that you may keep in contact through social media, because we realize you have a broader spectrum than some of us standing here before you today. So please take that opportunity to register, and then John will be in touch over the next months. We thank you for being here today to celebrate your success and to celebrate education. We also thank you for support you have given to the Hardin County Schools. We hope that the diploma that you earned along with the plaque you received today are reminders of the constant need for all of us to reinvest all that we can possibly do for today's students, and that they will follow your example and emerge as tomorrow's leaders. Thank you, and at this time, you are dismissed.